Reese started with, "I'm heartbroken. I'm literally lost for words, knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life. She was the only person," which is interesting since she's been coached before. We also have talked, even on this channel, about Angel's very dramatic response to that. And unfortunately, it seems like, according to some new reports, that relationship cost her job.
What if I told you that one decision could change everything for a WNBA star? That's exactly what happened to Angel Reese. The Chicago Sky just made a move that's left everyone speechless, including Reese herself. Did you hear what just happened to Angel Reese? The Chicago Sky just dropped a bombshell that's shaking up the whole WNBA.
But a member of the Chicago Sky, the national title winner at LSU, and she talked about where all this attention started with her and Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese spoke to the media. She didn't speak to the media after the game against Caitlin Clark.
It's crazy, right? Remember when Reese was crushing it as a rookie? She was breaking records left and right, making everyone sit up and take notice. But now, everything's changed, and you won't believe why. Reese went from being the talk of the town to, well, let's just say things aren't looking so bright anymore. The Sky made a decision that's got everyone talking, and not in a good way. You know what's even crazier? This could change Reese's whole career. Let's talk about what went down and why it's such a big deal. Remember when Reese was unstoppable on the court? 13.6 points and 13.1 rebounds per game. She was a force of nature, but then something changed. The team started falling apart and suddenly all eyes were on Reese. What if I told you one little rumor could bring down a rising star? That's exactly what happened to Angel Reese.
That she was sacrificing Camila Cardoso for the streak, that she had lost the dressing room because of her insisting on running through Angel Reese when she was their least efficient offensive player. So a lot of people rumored throughout the season that like Teresa Weatherspoon was sacrificing wins to get Angel Reese her double-double streak. And I called BS on all that. And a recent report says that might be true.
One day, she's on top of the world, breaking records and making headlines. The next, she's at the center of a storm that's tearing her team apart. So what happened? It all started with whispers. People were saying Reese might be using something to boost her game, and that's when things got messy. You know how rumors spread in sports? It's like wildfire. Before you know it, everyone's talking about it. And it wasn't just talk. The team started to feel it. The Chicago Sky's record, 13-27. That's rough. And guess who got blamed? Yep, Reese. It's crazy how fast things can change, right? But here's the thing. It wasn't just about Reese anymore. The whole team was falling apart. Trust among teammates, gone. Team spirit, out the window. It was like watching a car crash in slow motion. And you know what made it worse? While Reese was struggling, her rival Caitlin Clark was blowing up. Clark was breaking records left and right, getting all the attention. Can you imagine the pressure Reese must have felt? The Sky's management was feeling the heat too. They had to do something, right? But instead of trying to fix things, they decided to clean house. And that meant saying goodbye to more than just Reese's reputation. It's not just about basketball anymore. This is about trust, loyalty, and the harsh reality of pro sports.
But they saw what was going on with Angel Reese and how committed, for lack of a better word, Teresa Weatherspoon was to Angel Reese and this ridiculous foe. It's gonna cause some serious dysfunction because, let's be for real, every team wants to believe in the coach, etc. But teammates, and your team has eyes. They can see what we can see. They may not get in front of the microphone and say it. She's with the Chicago Sun-Times, and she recently reported that Weatherspoon was tailoring the Sky's game around one or two players led to some serious dysfunction inside the locker.
1 minute you're the hero, the next you're the villain. And Reese, she was caught right in the middle of it all. But wait, it gets even crazier. Remember Coach Teresa Weatherspoon? She was Reese's rock, the only one who had her back when things got tough. Well, guess what? The Sky weren't done cleaning house. They fired Weatherspoon after just one season. Can you believe that? Think about it. Weatherspoon was dealing with a mid-season trade of veteran players, injuries, and now this whole mess with Reese. It's like she was set up to fail from the start. And Reese, she's lost without Weatherspoon. And imagine losing the one person who believed in you when everyone else turned their back. That's gotta hurt, right? You think losing a mentor hurts? Wait till you hear what happened next. The Sky weren't done cleaning house, and their next move would leave Reese questioning everything she believed about trust in the WNBA. Enter Teresa Weatherspoon, the one person who had Reese's back when things got tough. She wasn't just a coach, she was Reese's rock. And Reese, she felt it deep in her heart. She was the only person that believed in me. The one that trusted me, Reese said. Can you imagine having someone like that in your corner when the whole world seems against you? But here's where things get wild. The Sky, in their infinite wisdom, decided to fire Weatherspoon after just one season. One season, can you believe that? It's like they were trying to set a record for how fast they could tear a team apart. Now, picture this. Reese, already dealing with all the drama we talked about earlier, suddenly loses the one person who believed in her. That's gotta hurt, right? And it wasn't just a professional relationship. Reese poured her heart out, saying, "We built a relationship in a short amount of time that will last forever. That's not just coach-player talk. That's real connection." But wait, it gets even crazier. Reese didn't just lose a coach, she lost someone who understood her struggles. Many don't even know what it's like to be a black woman in sports when nobody believes in you, Reese said. Weatherspoon got it. She lived it. And now she was gone. Think about it. Weatherspoon was dealing with a mid-season trade of veteran players, injuries, and now this whole mess with Reese.
She wins the national title. First thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark. Couple of words, I would have been fine with it. She's embraced the villain. She understands social media. She's done quite well. But her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark.
It's like she was set up to fail from the start, but even with all that, she never lost faith in Reese. You had a tough job, all the crazy circumstances that we went through this year, and when your back was against the wall, you always believed, Reese said. And you know what's really messed up? Reese came to Chicago because of Weatherspoon. I came to Chicago because of you. You were an unsung hero in my life, she said. Imagine moving to a new city, joining a new team, all because you believe in someone. And then, bam, they're gone. Just like that. This wasn't just about basketball anymore. It was about trust, loyalty, and the harsh reality of pro sports. One minute you're the hero, the next you're out on the street. And Reese, she was caught right in the middle of it all. The firing of Weatherspoon wasn't just a shock to Reese, the whole team was shaken. It's like the Sky management decided to drop a bomb on their own locker room. What were they thinking? Did they really believe this would make things better? And here's the kicker. This wasn't just about Reese and Weatherspoon anymore. This was about the future of the Sky. How do you rebuild a team when you've just destroyed the foundation of trust? How do you attract new talent when you treat your stars like this? Imagine a team falling apart while the league around them is soaring. That's exactly what happened to the Chicago Sky. Trust gone. Team spirit vanished. It wasn't just about losing games anymore. This was a full-blown implosion. Let's talk about what was really going on behind the scenes. The Sky's locker room was in chaos. Players felt betrayed, and the trust that holds a team together, it was shattered. You know how important trust is in sports, right? Without it, you might as well not even step on the court. But here's the kicker. While the Sky were crumbling, the WNBA was booming. Can you believe it? Caitlin Clark was bringing in 400% more viewers. The league was on fire, but the Sky were burning for all the wrong reasons. Think about it. How do you fix a team when everything around you is falling apart? The Sky's management was stuck between a rock and a hard place. They had to do something, but what? And it wasn't just about Reese or Weatherspoon anymore. This was bigger. This was about the future of the Sky and maybe even the WNBA. When one team falls this hard, it affects everyone. You know what's crazy? The Sky hadn't missed the playoffs since 2018. That's a pretty good run, but now they were the laughingstock of the league. How do you come back from that? The management had to make a choice, stick with what wasn't working or risk it all for a fresh start. And boy, did they choose. They didn't just make changes, they blew the whole thing up. But here's the question, was it the right move? I mean, sure, things were bad, but firing your star player and your coach, that's like trying to fix a leaky roof by tearing down the whole house. And let's not forget about the fans. Imagine being a Sky fan right now. Your team is falling apart, and meanwhile, the rest of the league is having the time of their lives. That's gotta hurt, right? But maybe, just maybe, this was the shakeup the Sky needed. Sometimes you've gotta hit rock bottom before you can climb back up. And let's be real, the Sky were pretty much at rock bottom. Here's the thing though, this wasn't just about cleaning house. The Sky were making a statement. They were saying, we're not going to tolerate any negativity, any scandals, anything that might bring us down. And you've got to respect that, even if you don't agree with how they did it. But let's zoom out for a second. The WNBA was growing like never before. New fans were tuning in, merchandise was flying off the shelves, and the future looked bright. So why couldn't the Sky get a piece of that pie? Maybe it was bad luck, maybe it was bad management, or maybe it was just one of those perfect storms where everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Whatever it was, the Sky had to do something drastic, and that's exactly what they did. They didn't just make changes, they started a revolution. A painful, messy revolution, but a revolution nonetheless. So what happens next? Can the Sky rise from these ashes, or is this the beginning of the end for one of the WNBA's most storied franchises? One thing's for sure, the league is watching, the fans are watching, and you can bet that every player in the WNBA is taking notes. Because what happened to the Sky? It could happen to anyone. You know what's crazy about sports? One little thing can change everything. That's what happened to Angel Reese. She was on top of the world, and then bam, everything fell apart. Reese learned the hard way that in sports, your world can flip upside down in a second. One rumor, one bad game, and suddenly you're the bad guy. It's not just about playing well anymore. It's about dealing with pressure, rumors, and expectations. And it's not just Reese. This whole mess with the Sky shows how fragile success can be in the WNBA. One minute you're a playoff team, the next you're rebuilding from scratch. So what's next for Reese? Can she bounce back from this? Or is this the end of her WNBA story? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, the whole league is watching.